We need to talk. You and me. It's serious. I know some people see it that way, others are different. Come on, straight ahead. We'll take a taxi for the first part of the journey. There are no excuses. The annoying rain and the fact that the first few kilometers are simply along a road don't apply to real pilgrims. I know that. But, I have to be honest, I don't know if I'm a real pilgrim on this route. I would say not, because I end the adventure in Mérida, then drive to Granada, meet Carl and his friends, then drive to Malaga, piss in the sea, and fly back. On the other hand, I will continue this route to Santiago at some point, maybe even in summer when it's 40 degrees. But for today, I'm taking a cab. Gabby too, really just along the yawningly boring road to the nature reserve, where it gets really nice again. Me and Gabby, we're cheating today and are totally fine with it. And now, good morning, off to Castilblanco. To be honest, I didn't know where the cab ride would end when we described to the cab driver where we wanted to go. He didn't understand any English, and we only spoke a little Spanish. But the man was so confident and in such a good mood that we were so happy to put ourselves in his care. Gabby said to me, I think they know they're pilgrims here. They already know where they can release us back into the wild without us complaining. And that's how it was. The nature reserve was literally at our feet, the Parque Natural Sierra Norte de Sevilla. There was no one there and it was raining, which I always take as an inviting sign.
Guten Morgen, liebe Mitpilgernde. Ja, an Tag 3 hier auf der Via de la Plata.
Good morning on day 3 here on the Via de la Plata, this time from Castilblanco to Almaden. And it goes through a national park. And as you can see, it's raining. It's been raining since this morning. Since tonight, actually. And it's supposed to continue raining all day. That probably means little filming, no drone footage. But yes, that's the way it is, even though it probably rarely rains on the Via de la Plata. Yes, the video is perhaps all the more unusual for those who walk the Via de la Plata in summer, when they probably sorely miss the rain. Yes, we set off this morning. First we went to a nearby bar, had a coffee or two Americano, and an original Spanish breakfast. I have now learned what a Spanish breakfast is. It's a large toasted baguette bread, and the Spaniards put 2 large slices of tomato or spread tomato cream on it. And it's delicious. It tastes good. You can also spread a little olive oil on it. Yes, I like that. I'm on the road with Gabby today. On this tour, which only takes 9 days to Merida, I take a somewhat undogmatic view of things. We decided yesterday to take a cab for the first part of this route today, and we had good reasons for doing so. Firstly, the weather, which we had already guessed yesterday from the weather forecast. And then the barman told us, everyone, all pilgrims take a cab from here. He had already wanted to order one for us yesterday. The reason is simple. The first 16 kilometers are simply along a road. You're traveling along a main road the whole time. Boring. We drove straight to the entrance of this park by cab and are now hiking another 15 to 20 kilometers to our destination.
Ja, ich sehe sie.
Yes, I see them. 2 rabbits. I don't think you can see them on the video, but they're just walking through the undergrowth. Yes, we've just said that it's so beautiful here, even in the rain, and it would be nice if there was somehow a rest area here where you could relax a bit and enjoy the peace and quiet.
Wo man sich ein bisschen ausruhen kann, die Stille zu genießen.
The issue of privacy is a thing of the past. Our every move can be traced. We have to be careful in the wilderness.
Wir müssen vorsichtig sein in der Wildnis.
I know exactly where Gabi went.
So, wir haben kurz Pause gemacht.
We took a short break, checked the route, and we know that we probably have to go right up there. A steep climb of over 400 meters.
Dann gucken wir mal, ne?
Let's have a look then. Well, I've eaten a delicious muesli bar. Now I'll have another drink. Can we do it today? Yes, of course. The mouse has everything in view.
So, da war gerade ein fettes Wildschwein.
Cool, there was just a fat wild boar. I don't know if they were wild boars. It almost looked like a normal pig. Definitely pretty fat. Yes, we have to be careful. There are supposed to be wild animals here. Also, deer and lynx. I haven't seen them yet.
Der steile Anstieg beginnt. 400 bis 500 Meter steil bergauf. Und der Reiseführer berichtet davon, dass selbst
The steep climb starts 400 to 500 meters uphill. And the travel guide tells us that even cyclists dismount here. Even cyclists. Even e-bike riders. But we manage it. Well, Gabby, where are you? Can we make it? Give us courage. We can do it. Maybe. We take lots of breaks. Always nice and slow and zigzagging. Oh, and again you will find memorial stones to pilgrims.
An zurückgebliebene Pilger.
Ja, aufpassen, dass man nicht rückwärts runterfällt.
Ja. Ja, das soll jetzt der Aussichtspunkt sein hier.
Yes, yes, this is supposed to be the viewpoint, but as you can see, you can't see anything. Nevertheless, we take a short break. It reminded me a bit of the climb up the Pyrenees. The only difference is that my fitness is a little better this time.
Nur mal, dass meine Kondition diesmal etwas besser ist.
We've reached the top, the viewpoint. We now make a descent to the right. There, it's only 18 minutes to go, but Gabby doesn't believe that. Gabby thinks it's another hour, but Google says 18 minutes. Let's see. Yes, I've reached the top. You could say that. I put my rucksack down. The climb over the stones was slippery. What an unexpectedly impressive place here on the Via de la Plata. A place where you could lay down stones, if you know what I mean. A place to remember your friends and especially those who are not doing so well. There are 2 right now. I hope you feel better again soon. Wild animals on the way. That seems to be a shoulder blade.
Ein Schulterblatt zu sein.
Increased vigilance. Where are they? The wild animals?
Die wilden Tiere.
There. Good evening, my dears. Here we are on day 3 of the Via de la Plata, this time from Castilblanco to Almaden de la Plata. And that's where we arrived and have already made ourselves at home here.
Aber wir haben ein bisschen gecheatet.
Where do I start the story? We were in a bar yesterday and I met a singer there. He was the lead singer of the band Belmonte, famous in the 90s. And this guy now runs a bar in this town. But he also does other things on the side. Among other things, he is a real estate agent and he has already offered me a finca somewhere in the sticks. But where there are also lots and lots of hunters, and where you have to be careful when you go to the letterbox that you don't end up as prey. By the way, the wine here is good and cheap. And this man told me, all the people who visit my bar take a cab at the end of the evening for the next day on the Via de la Plata. And I thought it was because of the alcohol. But it's not. Because the first, let's say 16 kilometers the next day are along a main road. Pretty boring. But I could have coped with that and I would have said, I'm going that way. But then I was given another piece of information, namely, that it was supposed to rain. That's how they got me. Gabby and I took a cab this morning. It picked us up at 8:30 and took us along this main road to the entrance of a national park. Then I think we only had to walk another 20 kilometers or so. I'm getting it all a bit mixed up. In total, if we had been really serious pilgrims, we would have had to do 30 kilometers. I did part of it by cab and the rest on foot. I hope you'll bear with us, and I've already mentioned this. I'm not that dogmatic on this tour. And then we hiked through the national park. The entrance was beautiful. There was a little house where you could get changed to put on clothes for the rain, which was immediately necessary. Then it was actually just beautiful and varied again. There were different trees. Which trees were there at the beginning? I don't know. Then there were lots of holm oaks. Then there were these beautiful, almost artificially cut, spherical trees. Do you remember what they were called? No, we don't know. And then it went through a flatter plain, then along a valley. The path was always very wide and well maintained, and at some point we saw 2 hares. There was no bull today. And at some point Gabby said, there's this climb coming up. What climb? There's a climb. Okay, what kind of climb? How long is it? 400, 500 meters, steeply uphill, and even cyclists are supposed to get off there, says the guidebook. Okay. And just before we got there, we saw a fat wild boar. It wasn't a wild boar, but another pig, an Iberico pig, and those are actually pigs too. They're actually kept on farms here, but a few have been released into the wild. Then they fed on black acorns, and then their skin color changed. They turned black themselves, and that's what they looked like. They were real. Yes, I've never seen them before. I wasn't scared because they were running away from me. I stayed on the path. The pigs ran off, and I then used the drone to see where they were and was actually able to find them in the thicket. And then we mastered this steep climb relatively easily. I thought that was pretty cool. Yes, it reminded me of the road to Roncesvalles. I took several breaks on the way there, over the Pyrenees. It wasn't that easy, and this time it was relatively easy. Some time ago, I read a comment under one of my videos, and it said, "If you've been on the way of St. James and have completed it, then you'll be in good physical condition for a year, especially in your legs and feet, and that lasts, and you can still use it." And that's how it was for me. I can confirm that. This climb was relatively easy. It really was. And then we were in Almaden de la Plata at around 1 p.m. I don't think I've ever been in an albergue earlier than today, and we have this albergue to ourselves. And then I'll take you with me for a moment. I'll show you this again briefly. That's where our washing is hung up. The owner has lit a stove for us because it's really cold. There are 2 beds here. How many degrees are we at? 12 degrees less. 10? 14. Nothing going on here, all beds free, a huge kitchen for us alone. We hadn't expected that, because I'd already met a few pilgrims on the way. There's the bathroom, there are more beds, and that's exactly what she put a lot of emphasis on. The owner, whose husband is a blacksmith and metal worker, built it all himself. He forged and assembled everything himself. She was very proud of the beds, the cupboards, the pipes, the kitchen table, the chairs. Yes, quite a lot here. And before I talk you to sleep and tell you more that you're not interested in anyway, I'll end this video and say, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to this channel now, give me a thumbs up and activate the bell. And if you don't, that's okay too. And I haven't received a shell yet. And the owner also told me there's no such thing here. But what I will have tomorrow is this, a walking stick. So let's go out and get a pilgrim's meal and see you tomorrow on day 4 on the Via de la Plata from Seville to Merida. See you then.
Von Sevilla bis Merida. Bis dann. Ciao. Hey, na, wer bist du denn?
Well, who are you here?
Hello.
Yes, you.
Ja.
Where are you from?
Wo kommst du denn her? Ja, wo kommst du denn her? Hm?
You want to go in there? We'll ring again. Maybe someone will open the door.
Wir klingeln nochmal. Vielleicht macht hier einer auf. Ah, okay. Hola.
Hola.
It's your dog, right? Yeah.
Gracias.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Muchas gracias.
Bye.